In this video, we are going to read the first 8 lines of KTU 1.114, otherwise known as RS 24.258, and then look at some biblical parallels. So let's start off reading. Ilu dabihu bibetihu matsuda tseda bikirbi hekalihu. Ilu, or El, slaughters game in his house, prey within his palace. Sahu lekutsi elima tilhamuna iluma watishtuna tishtuna yena ade shubi tiratha ade shukri. He invites the gods to partake. The gods eat and drink. They drink wine to satiety, new wine to drunkenness. Ya'dubu yarichu kubahu kamakalbi yakathkithu tahta sulchanati. Yarichu prepares his goblet. Like a dog, he drags it under the tables. Ilu du yida ananu ya'dubu lachma lehu. Wa du la yida ananu yalumanu chatama tahta thulchani. Any god who knows him prepares him a portion of food, but one who does not know him strikes him with a stick under the table. So let's first start out with some linguistic parallels. Ugaritic and Hebrew are both Northwest Semitic languages, and the Northwest Semitic languages, which also include Aramaic and Phoenician, Canaanite, Moabite, etc., are all very closely related. It is a language family, the Northwest Semitic languages, that are very closely related, so you're going to find a lot of words are very similar. There are a lot of cognates in these languages. So let's just take 6 of them. The first one we have is DBH dot. We see that vocalized in verse 1 as dabihu, and we have a cognate in Hebrew, ZBH dot, zabach, and that means sacrifice. And note here, this is very common between Ugaritic and Hebrew. We've got that DZ interchange. So the DBH dot of Ugaritic is a ZBH dot in Hebrew. The second word we have is QRB. We see that vocalized in verse 1 as kirbi, and we see that in Hebrew it's exactly the same, QRB, karov, and that means midst, in the midst, near, to draw near. Thirdly, we have LH.M, exactly the same in Hebrew, LH.M. We see that vocalized in verse 7 as lachma, and in Hebrew it is lachem, and that is to eat or food. Fourthly, we've got TR, T underline, and we see that vocalized in verse 4 as tiratha, and in Hebrew that is tirosh. And note here another interchange, that T underline in Ugaritic becomes the sheen, the SH sound in Hebrew. That means new or fresh wine. Fifthly, we have TH.T, and that is vocalized in verse 5 as tahta, and we see that that's exactly the same in Hebrew, TH.T, tahat, under or in place of. And finally, we see in the Ugaritic T underline LH.N, and that is vocalized in verse 8 as Thulchani, and we see that in Hebrew we have Shulchan, and we see again that TH-SH interchange, that TH sound in Ugaritic becomes the sheen, the SH sound, and that means table. Now let's take a look at some thematic parallels. And we noted that in this text, we see people, or gods in this case, Yarichu, drinking under the table and being given food under the table. And that immediately draws some thoughts of some biblical passages. The first passage that it brings to mind is Mark 7:26 through 28, which reads, "Now the woman was a Gentile of the Syrophoenician race, and she kept asking him to cast the demon out of her daughter." She was asking Jesus. "And he was saying to her, 'Let the children be satisfied first, for it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs.' But she answered and said to him, 'Yes, Lord, but even the dogs under the table feed on the children's crumbs.'" So what's interesting here is that this woman is said to be of the Syrophoenician race. We have Syrophoenikisa, and that means Syrophoenician, or of Phoenicia of Syria. In contrast to Carthage and its territory in North Africa, the Phoenicians were colonizers. They had colonies in North Africa, but this is specifically talking of Phoenicia in Syria. What's interesting is that that's pretty much right where Ugaritic was. So we see here that idea of dogs being under the table and eating food that is falling under the table, the crumbs, is an idea that we see in the Bible. Secondly, and more obscure and strange here, we see in Judges 1:5 through 7, they found Adoni-Bezek in Bezek and fought against him, and they defeated the Canaanites and the Perizzites. But Adoni-Bezek fled, and they pursued him and caught him and cut off his thumbs and big toes. Adoni-Bezek said, 70 kings with their thumbs and their big toes cut off used to gather up scraps under my table. As I have done, so God has repaid me." So we see that Adoni-Bezek, when he conquered kingdoms, he took the kings and cut off their thumbs and big toes and made them as dogs under the table, gathering up scraps. So we see again this idea of people as dogs under the table eating, just as we saw in our Ugaritic passage. And this is what's interesting about studying Ugaritic, is that it will enlighten you to the manners and customs and thought processes that were existent at the time that the Hebrew Bible was written. And that is very helpful, because to really understand Scripture, what we want to do is we want to take off our modern 21st century American or Western mindset, and we want to put on an ancient Semitic mindset, because the Bible is an ancient Semitic book, and to really understand it, we need to understand ancient Semitic thought processes, both linguistically and thematically. So thank you.